Here's a hypothetical scenario. Everyone around you is suffering in the wave of an unstoppable farce. Nothing seems to help, and soon, everything that you know and love will be gone. Yeah, you heard that right. Pretty big tonal shift from because 7 ain't 9. But that's what ReBoot does with this episode, ever keeping the audience on its toes. Let's take a look, shall we?
Dot, you promised! Remember that speech you gave me about keeping your promises? Dot? Hello?
I'm coming.
Where'd he go, huh?
I don't believe it. Bob? Is your car actually running?
Yep.
Isn't it awesome? Oh, not again. Dot!
Medusa Bug was written by Lane Richard, with story by Lane Richard, Ian Pearson, Phil Mitchell, and Gavin Blair. Our cast for this episode includes Michael Benier as Bob, Kathleen Barr as Dot, Jesse Moss as Enzo, Tony J as Megabyte, Phil Hayes as Hack, Gary Chalk as Slash, Shirley Milner as Hexadecimal, and Michael Donovan as Fawn. Well, that opening doesn't seem to match what I was talking about, does it? Before you start thinking I pulled clips from the wrong episode, patience. The day begins peacefully enough for our protagonists, as Bob and Enzo are taking Dot to a picnic. It's also the first time we see Bob's car, which has a nasty habit of breaking down. It's a setup like this that convinces you things are going to get bad pretty fast. We then scene shift to Lost Angles, Hexadecimal's domain. Uh-oh. And we see Megabyte in an armoured limousine pulling away from the island across a bridge. Double uh-oh.
The Medusa.
Oh, wow.
Finally! Hexadecimal's ultimate weapon!
What is
A
it?
box!
I don't know, it's a box?
She thought she could hide its secret from me. She thought she could develop a weapon this powerful without my knowledge. Poor fool. Oh, that would be her now.
Hexadecimal, displaying her powers, brings an uncountable swarm of gnolls streaming across the bridge towards Megabyte and his lackeys. It would seem she could control these slug things. This might be important later in the series. Hint, hint. Hack and Slash, displaying why Megabyte bothers to keep them around, use their awesome strength to rip a part of the bridge away, preventing the gnolls from crossing. Megabyte takes the opportunity to take off, but leaves a few of his armoured carriers to deal with Hexadecimal. And by deal with her, I mean be destroyed instantly. No number of missiles or blasts can scratch Hex, who simply raises an energy shield around herself and proceeds to blow them up. Back at the tour, reveling in his victory in stealing this weapon from Hexadecimal, Megabyte activates the device, sitting in his hand. And to his horror, it seems she will be getting the last laugh. The Medusa is a viral bug that petrifies everything it touches. How does that work in a computer? Don't think too hard about it. It's cool.
Computer, identify virus, full scan, list possible cures and counteracting agents.
File type, unknown. Counteragents, unknown. Cure options, unknown.
Getting your sorry self out of trouble? Unknown. I see you found my little surprise. Isn't it sweet?
You, all this time, all your secrecy, all your security, my whole operation,
Yes, yes.
a trap.
Now I suppose you'll want thanks for all your hard work.
Hexadecimal watches as the tour completely turns to stone, and then begins to expand out from there to all of Mainframe, and lets out a maniacal laugh. Back with our heroes in the next scene, we see Dot lying on the grass, while Bob applies some maintenance to his wreck of a car, wholly unaware of the horror coming their way. Enzo's dog Frisket hearkens the impending doom. Enzo spots him running from the incoming wave of the Medusa following him, and Frisket cannot run fast enough to avoid a grim fate.
Frisket, let me go! No, we gotta help him!
Enzo, wait! We don't know what that thing is yet. Bob?
Unknown file type. This is bad. Very bad.
Bob? I think we're next.
I think you're right. Glitch, ignition. Quick, try her again!
The others manage to get the car started and take to the air just at the last moment. Yeah, all vehicles hover in mainframe. And with Bob out of his element, they proceed to the principal office to speak with Fawn. Now, we don't see a game of Pawn this time round, but I like to think that just maybe Fawn skipped it, considering this is a crisis that could doom the system. But who knows? Maybe there was a really intense game right off screen. Anyways, we shift to our trio and Fawn standing around a viewing window as Fawn spells out what the audience has already bared witness to. Then it spreads to all it touches and turns it to stone. Enzo assumes Megabyte is behind this, but a chaotic plan like this is not his style. Again, as we already know.
Hexadecimal, huh? This one's got me worried, Fong. I mean, that hex is as loopy as they come. I'm gonna need everything you've got to fight it.
Bob worried? Dude.
Worse yet, children, is that the longer one is infected, the sooner they begin to decay. See here, low energy goes first, like this sign, but then high energy goes next.
High energy. Sprites like us.
And Frisket.
Truly.
That's not even funny! What are we gonna do?
Fawn assigns Dot and Enzo to lead the evacuation, while he leads Bob to the back room to discuss options in taking down this bug. As the scene shifts, we see Bob asking for a bunch of complex programs, which gets only a blank stare from Fawn and one of his most famous catchphrases. This is not the supercomputer. Fawn hands him what looks like a pink school eraser with the words Viral Erase Command printed on them. Bob and Fawn both acknowledge that this is a very primitive solution, but they have nothing else. Bob adds some power enhancements to it and prepares to give it a go. Meanwhile, the evacuation is well underway, and we see streams of vehicles pouring into the principal office. Slowly but surely, the Denzians of Mainframe are brought into the huge central building. Wow, Mainframe has better crisis response than most real-world cities. It's obvious that morale is pretty low, but cheers go out as Bob flies out on his zipboard to confront the Medusa. What will we do without Bob? Well, here goes nothing.
My poor Medusa. Happy, happy, happy.
This is not good. Where's a GameCube when you need one?
Hurry, people.
And sadly, nothing is exactly what happens. The evacuation finishes and Bob returns to tell them the bad news. With everyone inside, the principal office goes into full lockdown mode, as armor panels cover the doors and an energy shield covers the exterior. As impressive a sight this is, it does absolutely nothing to stem the tide of Hexadecimal's terrible plague. The wave comes through the principal office, and in mere moments, all of Mainframe, save Hex's Island, is turned to stone. Well, with one exception.
No. You were right, old friend. I am immune. Lucky me. Let Hexadecimal turn all my friends into stone, destroy Mainframe, and get away with it? I don't think so.
Oh boy. This episode has been really gripping thus far. Hexadecimal is just a perfect villain, and it was such a cool idea having the bulk of our intro be between our two villains. And we're in such a tense, desperate situation that you can't help but be on the edge of your seat. And if this is where the episode ended, with a to-be-continued notice, and the promise of a second story to give this the respectful finale it deserves, automatic 3 out of 3. But it doesn't do that. It decides to run full throttle for an ending, and it suffers as a result. In the next scene, we are back at Hex's lair, and we see that not even Scuzzy has escaped the Medusa's warpath. Bob comes in, using Glitch to zip over to her throne, but she simply floats in the air and turns to meet him. Then she says something really odd. She commends Bob for trying to infect her with the Medusa. Huh? More on this at the end. Anyways, Hexadecimal proves that Bob is no match for her, as she simply holds him in place with her magic and moves in for the kill. So, Bob uses the only weapon he has left, his quick wits. He starts telling Hexadecimal how much he admires the changes to mainframe, and the absence of chaos. Hexadecimal does not want to hear that.
How very peaceful it will all be now.
Peaceful? Oh dear. How true.
No more battles with Megabyte?
Quiet! Silence!
No more unexpected turn of events?
No! No! What have I done? No!
Just peace and calm forever.
No! No! I must stop it! Stop it all from going so very wrong!
A brilliant display of madness and power only Hexadecimal can supply. In our final scene, our trio of sprites are giving their picnic another go, when what should occur but a GameCube. It is a long-held theory of mine that Medusa Bug had always intended to be a two-parter, and I think any savvy audience member can see the signs. The build-up, the tension, the downer scene in the office, they were leading to a second episode. And Hex's very strange line referencing something that clearly never happens, obviously, in my opinion, a leftover fragment from the originally conceived Part 2. I suppose it could have just been a scene that they decided to cut for time, but either way, there's something very obviously missing. And yes, I'm aware that there were special promo videos that were created that seemed to tease a second Medusa created by Megabyte. These aired in between episode 4 and 5 to fill the gap until episode 5 was finished, but it's not really an episode. No, I'm talking about a true second act to this tale, where Bob uses all at his disposal to overpower Hexadecimal, and then finally is forced to resort to quick thinking and clever words. Now that's what happens, and the ending is right in line with the very chaotic nature of Hexadecimal. It also shows her incredible powers yet to gain. But yeah, there's something missing. And if I'm wrong, and this was never going to be a two-parter, then it's just terribly paced. Either way, this is great for its potential, but doesn't quite meet it. I give Medusa Bug 2 out of 3 fedoras.